Right, I get it, legends. Big man Bombish here. Want to do something a little different with YouTube and content and that kind of stuff this year. Not move away from gaming, but incorporate like some other aspects that I feel that I can offer value, entertainment, advice on. And one of those topics being, little brain fart there, fitness. Being the start of the year, I want to offer 10 tips and tricks for newcomers coming into the gym for the first time. And I do highly recommend getting into the gym. It's so good for your body, but just as much for your mind, you know, like I tell you what, there isn't a bad day that can't be made better by going to the gym, sweating it out, you know, beating a bag or whatever it is that you do. It's just so good for you. You're probably wondering, or you might be wondering, why do I feel qualified qualified enough to give advice on this topic? Well, I've been doing fitness for roughly over 10 years now. And was a qualified PT in the Army, a CFL. You know, I've done, you know, endurance training for like running, park marching, battle PT, like body armor. Obviously, like now out of Army, I'm doing a lot of probably more like powerlifting style. But I've done, you know, a bit of cycling. Can't swim because muscles sink. I've never been able to swim really well. But I started my fitness journey at like about 68 kilos. Obviously, I don't weigh that now. That's taken like over 10 years. I'm sitting at probably roughly about 115 kilos. Not lean, but I'm pretty strong, I feel. More natural as well. I've been natural my entire life, apart from some test boosters that I took when I was overseas deployed, that weren't legal in Australia, but they weren't like anabolic steroids. So that's a little bit about me, if you've never seen me before. The gym can be a bit daunting for people trying to get into it for the first time. So I want to kind of break down some unwritten/written rules about the gym and to kind of make your experience as best as it possibly can be. First cab off the rank, we're going to talk about respect. Respect is a big one. I think it's probably the most important thing in the gym. It's respect for other people, respect to the equipment, and respect for yourself. I'm not the kind of person that likes to get in front of the mirror and pose and get my body fat down and as shredded as possible and walk around the beach with my top off. That's not me personally, but if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But I feel like if you're going to do like a recording in a gym of yourself or whatever, I think that it's appropriate to be mindful of your surroundings, i.e. the people around you, if they're okay being filmed and all that kind of stuff. And just don't be a piece of shit and call people out, you know, for, you know, maybe making a mistake in the gym or not doing what you think is right. Just fucking mind your own business, yeah? It's pretty simple. Otherwise you'll get called out by Joey Swole, which I fucking love him for doing that. And that's point number one. Number two, kind of moving into number one is respecting the gym rules, yeah? Every gym will have their own set of rules or guidelines or like kind of, you know, a code of conduct, so to speak. But there's kind of 2, maybe 3 things that will probably always be on any gym's rules. Re-rack your weights. So if you pick up weights and you put like plates on the barbell or you pull out the dumbbells, put them back, put them away. If you can pick it up, you can put it away. It's just disrespectful to the next person who wants to use that equipment. You know, if I'm squatting 200 kilos, I don't want to leave that on the bar for someone who is nowhere near as strong as me, who might not physically be able to take that weight off the bar. Don't do it. Next one, wipe down your equipment. In a post-COVID world, and if you're someone that sweats a lot, like me, you'll want people to wipe down the equipment, and you want to do that for other people. If you don't, I highly recommend training with a towel, because then you can chuck the towel over the equipment. It also gives you something to wipe the sweat off, and then you can wipe it down as well. That's what I do. I've always trained with a towel. That's really good. Those are probably the main two ones. And if you can, particularly dumbbells, don't drop dumbbells. I find that the plates are kind of a little bit more rugged, and you can drop them. Obviously, if you can lower it under control, you know, but the plates are designed to be dropped. The dumbbells, not so much. If you start flinging fucking dumbbells off from when you're doing shoulder press or when you're doing chest press, it won't take long for those dumbbells to get fucked and the gym staff to get pissed off for doing that. I used to do it, bad habit to get into, but yeah, don't do that. Those are like the three main gym rules. Point number 3 is don't be afraid to ask for help. If you're someone getting into the gym, don't be afraid to get a PT, get a friend who's been doing, you know, fitness in the gym for a while to give you some pointers, you know. Qualified PTs are super knowledgeable. They'll be able to help you out, you know, get a program, teach you how to use equipment, you know, how to do exercises, so on and so forth. You know, I ask the gym staff for help, usually for a spot, when no one's around, because I usually train when it's pretty quiet. But yeah, just if you're not sure, just ask. You're putting yourself at risk of an injury, kind of, and damaging the equipment if you are kind of unsure on how something works. Because some of it, for someone who's never seen it before, it can look a little bit frightening. That was number 3. Moving on to number 4. Moving like kind of hand in hand with number 3 is good form and technique. I remember watching a video a long time ago, and it was, your range of motion is better than someone who's on the couch. And that's something that's very true. But if you can get yourself into doing good form and good technique early on, get your muscle memory in doing the right things, it will streamline your training. I remember I had really terrible form with deadlifts. I had a massively arched back, and I was yanking from my back to the point where I was really starting to get at risk of an injury. Took one of my mates who I was training with, said, hey, you got to fix your form on your deadlift because you're going to fuck your back. And it put back my training probably 6-8 months to correct my deadlift form, stripping the weight right back and relearning effectively how to do a deadlift properly. So that's one to remember. You know, when you're doing, you know, whether it's chest press, you really want to make sure you've got that weight stabilized and it's not shaking and everything like that. You want to do your form over your reps. So I think it's better to do 10 really good reps of good form, getting good range of motion, hitting the muscle group that you're trying to hit, as opposed to doing 15 of kind of iffy reps, you know. So that's form and technique. 5 is hydration. Pretty simple. Guarantee most people won't be drinking enough water throughout the day. I think it's like roughly 4 liters a day someone should be drinking, probably a little bit more if it's hot. You know, you can't expect your body to perform well if you're not drinking water. It's literally as simple as that. You need to be hydrated. You need to be hydrated before you go. You need to be drinking water while you're there. You need to drink water after you leave, because, you know, your body, like naturally, oh, you can't really see it here, but I'm sweating. Like I've just done a pretty killer arm workout, but I'm sweating. I sweat a lot more than the usual person. But yeah, that's how your body cools itself down, you know. So drink plenty of water. And that's water. And you don't have to have, you know, if you do something crazy endurance, yeah, maybe have like a Powerade after, get some electrolytes back in there, but water will probably do the trick. 6, that's 6 because I know how to count. Number 6 is take rest when and where you need it. Listen to your body. That's something that I've had to really get used to over the years, is listening to when my body needs rest. Because while there are times for when you need to push through with training, you know, it's just kind of a bit of a slug. Your body's real good at telling you like, hey dude, I need to fucking like maybe have a day's rest, and you will thank yourself for it. Never train when you're sick. Never train when you're not feeling it. You're like feeling a bit under the weather, not well hydrated, not well fed, because getting into the gym and getting like a half-assed workout and then like stopping halfway through and then kind of you're like, fuck, that was a shit workout. Just take the rest day, come back refreshed and revitalized a day or 2 later, ready to smash it. That was 6, righto, 7. I know how to count. 7 is manageable goals. If you're someone that's never trained before, you've never done any form of fitness in your life, it is unrealistic for you. You might be able to, but it's unrealistic to go, righto, I'm gonna go from someone that does nothing to someone that does, like me, like 7 days a week, 2 hours in the gym, you know? Get yourself, work it up. So if you're starting, maybe do 2 days a week and then, you know, do that for 2 weeks and then try 3 days a week, see how that feels. And then work yourself up to where you want to be. Because if you just try and go from, you know, like what I said before about nothing to 7 days a week, it's gonna be really hard for you to hit those kind of goals. And it's gonna feel shit when you don't. So set manageable bite-sized pieces. So let's say like we'll take, for example, like a bench press, right? 30 kilos on the bar. That's what your max is. In a month's time, you say, I want to bump it up by 5 kilos. So in a month's time, I'll be doing 35. And for someone that's getting into the gym for the first time, 5 kilos over a month, it's pretty doable. And then you'll feel good when you get it, and you're like, oh, that felt really good. Really, you know, and it's like patting yourself on the back, being like, hell yeah, well done. Which leads me into my next one, I think we're on 8 now? Yeah, 8. Which is celebrate your achievements. Like if you hit that weight, or you drop those 5 kilos, whatever you're looking for, doing that run a little bit quicker, celebrate. Go out and have a cheat meal, have a beer, or whatever your poison is, as long as it's not hard drugs. That won't help. So yeah, be proud of them, you know? Like if you're losing weight, be proud, like, you know, be proud of the body that you know, whatever, like, you know, like I'm not lean by any means, but I'm proud of my body. I'm proud of what I look like and where I've come to and where I'm still going to. So that's a massive one. Make sure you celebrate, congratulate yourself with whatever your poison might be. So it's not, like I said, hard drugs. All right, number 9, we're nearly finished. Number 9 is change takes time. Weight loss generally happens quicker than like muscle gain, depending on kind of how you're training. I can't remember, there was like a rule, it was like, I think it's like 4 to 6 weeks, people will notice the change in you before you'll notice the change, you know, in your appearance and yourself. I think it's like 8 to 10 weeks for yourself to really take notice, you know, so don't go into the gym, you know, 1 week and go fucking hell bent, and then at the end of the week you're like, wow, I still don't have a 6-pack yet, or I'm not like lifting fucking thousands of kilos of weight, oh, not worth it. Doesn't work like that. Even for people that like want to get on the gear, I'm not for it. But it takes time. It's a process, and it can be a slow process, but you'll be surprised. this is kind of the catch-22 with what I find with lifting, is that like the progress that you will make if you're consistent, regular, you have a good diet and everything, the progress that you'll make in that first 12 to 2 years will be better than anything you'll get after that. Hate trying to break it to you, but that's kind of the way that it works. That's just, you know, and then to my last point is don't let yourself plateau, which is point number 10 fingers. What I mean by don't plateau is like when you get in the gym, don't go in there and do the same thing for the same time over and over and over again. Your body is really good at adapting to like the conditions that you put it under. So say for example, we'll just talk about chest again. So say for your first chest session, the first exercise you do is barbell bench for like 4 sets of 15 to maybe 18 reps, in that rep range there somewhere. You know, do that for 2 weeks, and then what you would want to do is, or the next week even, if you want to be really spicy, you change the weight, or you change the rep, or you change the movement. So you could go from doing that rep range to be like, okay, I'm going to up the weight and dial back the weights. Up the weights and dial back the reps. And you know, maybe instead of you doing it for 30 kilos, you do 40 for 10 reps. Or you maybe, instead of doing barbell, you do dumbbell, or you do incline. And you want to keep yourself fresh, like every week, every 2 weeks. And while you're doing that, you'll probably find a training style that works really well for you. Like me, particularly for powerlifting, like 5x5s, super heavy volume, super heavy weights. This is what I love, because obviously I'm training for strength, but you have to find something that works for you. That's it. That's my 10 tips and tricks for new players to the game that is the gym or fitness. Get in there. You'll thank yourself for it. I do want to do more of these kind of fitness, gym related videos. We might do some come to the gym with me with like what I'm doing, like a big chest day or legs or whatever, or some like exercise breakdowns. But yeah, that's it from me. Get in the gym, stay hydrated, eat some food, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.